Hey guys, it's me, Shamaniac2552, and welcome to another one of my reviews. This time it's another game review, and the game I am reviewing is Kingdom Hearts for the PlayStation 2. Kingdom Hearts is an old game, but I wanted to review it because it's one of my favorite series. So I'm going to review every single Kingdom Hearts game I've played, but we're starting with the first Kingdom Hearts because it's the first Kingdom Hearts. It is it was made by Disney and Square Enix. It's basically a kind of a mix of Final Fantasy and Disney put into one, with a few original characters also added to the mix to make it an actual story. And they're just cameos from Final Fantasy and Disney. But it's about a boy named Sora who dreams with his friends Riku and Kairi that they wanted to see the outside worlds, and they just don't want to be stuck on their island for like ever and ever. So they build a raft, and the night before they were about to leave, a darkness invades Destiny Islands and sucks Riku away, and Kairi's also disappeared, and Sora gets a key, and then he gets thrown into another world as well. That's basically the beginning, and it was all in, that's basically the beginning. Is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, yeah, he's got a key. It's like a sword kind of thing. It's a sword, but it's a key and can unlock almost any lock, is what I'm guessing. Along the way, Sora gets helped by two Disney characters named Donald and Goofy. You guys know those guys. They're looking for their lost king, which is King Mickey, of course. They're sent to find a guy with the key, which is Sora, and use him to help them find their king. So they're helping Sora find his friends while Sora's helping them find their king. And that's basically the beginning of the story. And they go to different worlds and seal keyholes and beat this, kill these things called the Heartless, which are enemies. I really don't know how to explain them, and I didn't come up with anything before I started this review to say anything about them. But they're enemies that steal hearts, and they destroy worlds. And so Sora goes into different worlds, and he uses his key to lock the world's hearts, and more Heartless can't come in and destroy it. But that's basically the whole plot thing. And then it's got like stuff about them trying to save their friends and whatnot, but that's basically the story, and I don't want to ruin anything, so I'm not saying anything more. Otherwise I would have had a better explanation to these events, because I would have thought about that beforehand. But yeah, gameplay wise, it's like an RPG, but it's not like traditional what is it called, traditional turn-based. Yeah, turn-based. It's not traditional turn-based. It's more of a real-time. You actually go around and hit people with keyblades instead of doing like the whole strategy thing. But it's still strategy, but it's not like turn-based strategy. Basically plays like an RPG should. Like, you got leveling, you got character development, you got shops, you can buy stuff, money and economy, Basically an RPG, it's like a role-playing game, that's what RPG stands for. And that's all I have to say about the gameplay, because it's so good, you just gotta see for yourself. If you haven't played this game, and you have a PS2, what are you retarded or something? Go play it. Yeah, that's basically the story and the gameplay, and it's got great graphics, and it's really it's got some really good CGI graphics at the beginning and the end, and really okay, like really good graphics in the middle as well, but not as CGI as the beginning and the end. But the graphics are great, the gameplay is great, and the story is epic. But some of the things I found wrong with this game is the targeting system and the camera. And some of you should know all about that. Basically, the camera is kind of unruly sometimes, and targeting sometimes targets the wrong stuff, and not the stuff that you want it to target. Like, it targets something that's not even in the battle versus the person you're fighting, and so it just takes the camera focus to that thing, and then you lose track of your enemy, and the enemy ends up hitting you or killing you or whatever. But besides that, it's still a very good game. The gameplay is great. It's a masterpiece. It was one of the best games that I ever played on the PS2. It's probably the best game on the PS2 for me. It even got me into Final Fantasy. Before this, I was not a Final Fantasy player. I never played Final Fantasy. Once I played Kingdom Hearts, I started picking up Final Fantasy games. So it's the thing that got me started in all the Final Fantasy games. So it's a plus for that, but not for you. Maybe a lot of people who played Final Fantasy played Kingdom Hearts after because they knew those Final Fantasy characters in it or something like that. But, sorry, I'm talking really fast, but anyway. Yeah, some of the worlds you go to is the Agrabah, which is the world of Aladdin. You go to Halloween Town, which is the world of Jack Skellington. You go to the Little Mermaid place, Atlantica, is what I believe is called. You go to Olympus Coliseum to see Hercules. You go to Neverland and fly with Peter Pan. And you go to Alice in Wonderland and become an attorney at law. But anyway, a lot of the Final Fantasy cameos were really fun for me after playing that game and then playing Final Fantasy and then coming back to this game and play it again. And I saw those characters again. It was really fun for me to see them again. They got Cloud, Squall, otherwise known as Leon in this game, which I actually really don't understand why they changed his name and what was the point of it. If you guys know, put it down in the comments because I have no idea. We got Yuffie, Aerith, and a bunch of other Final Fantasy characters, as well as some original characters like Sora, Riku, Kairi, and a lot of other original characters. You got Disney characters like Mickey Mouse, Donald, Goofy, Simba as a summon. So is Mushu's in it too, and you got like Genie and Aladdin, of course, and Tarzan. That's one of the worlds you go to. You go to Deep Jungle, which is the world of Tarzan. So yeah, it's a great game. It's got a lot of variety to it. It's got like gummy ship battles too. If you know, is like you go into like a space sort of state. It's like, I don't know if it's space, but it's kind of like it, and you fly a ship through it, killing stuff. It's kind of fun, but it gets tedious after a while. I just hope that they would have made that more funner. It's not even funner in Kingdom Hearts 2 as well either. It still sucks. It's kind of better in Kingdom Hearts 2, but it was more fun in Kingdom Hearts 1. But anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I will give it a rating, and I give it a 10 out of 10. A 10 out of 10, yeah. I gave it a 10 out of 10 because even though it has a bunch of problems, not a bunch of problems, maybe a little bit of problems sprinkled in, and then the whole game just completely destroys all that problem. It's just a fun to play, so I give it a 10 out of 10. It's probably the best game I've ever played on the PS2, and it's the first game on YouTube that I've ever given a 10 out of 10. So yeah, and stay tuned for my other Kingdom Hearts reviews, which I will be doing soon. And so yeah, 10 out of 10. See you guys next time.